Hey y'all, I'm back. I'm back. I told y'all I'll be back, gang. Let's make sure. I'm trying to get this video right. It's hard to see me right, but I'm back, gang. I'm on this mud. Let me make sure I can see y'all too. Turn me down. Turn me down. Let me see if my chat working. Chat working. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Good. We up in there. Okay, I can see y'all chats up in OBS. As long as I can see y'all chats in OBS, that's what's good the most. What's this on? Is it going dark? Hold on with me and be patient with me on while I'm trying to figure this out. I know the camera is turned at an angle, but it's just on how everything is showed up. But I want to get into like not that, of course. So, but let's get right into it. What I've been looking at on. If y'all can see my screen, let me know if my screen working, because I'm looking at it, it's moving slow. Am I moving slow? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to stream, but everything moving all slow. It's glitching. I don't like that. Let me log. Let me do something. Is we glitching? Let me see. We glitching, y'all. But anyways, like I said, y'all, I'm new to this, not true to this, but let's get right into it. Trying to make sure it's not glitching on y'all. But anyways, guess who got player of the month again? We got Angel Reese, you know, my big baby got player of the month of the year. I'm just gonna go because I don't know if I'm like lagging or not, but it's all right. I'm just go and I upgrade the it's the video thing I got to upgrade. But congratulations to Angel Reese. Who is this? Paige Becky. So let's see. Got two legends. We got Stewie and Wilson. Let's see what we talking about. What they talking about in basketball right quick before we get right into the scary talks. I know some of y'all are here for the scary talks. We're going to get right into it. But let's just go what Twitter talking about. So, American team win. All gold. Congratulations to all of them. Jade, Simone, Suni, Jordan, and Hazy. Good job. If I'm butchering the names, y'all know me. I'm going to get it together. I'm just looking at my Twitter before we get up on there. But anyways, y'all comment down below if y'all got any other questions for this. Y'all, is my stream messing up? Y'all make sure, let me know if the stream messing up. Okay. It seemed like I'm like a second behind because I can see myself on the thing. But I'm like a second behind. But let's get right into these scary talks, y'all. Y'all been waiting on me. And I cannot wait to actually react to these videos. Oh, shoot. Let's go to my page right quick.
Mine.
Yeah, I'm live.
George got the whole room gonna smell like poop.
Okay. You gotta wait a second. Tell George to he about to get in his shower. Turn on the shower for him. Okay, so let me go to my favorites. Is it my favorites? Oh, not those, y'all. I'm fat. I'm fat. I'm fat. We ain't doing those. So,
story about a time that you
before we get into this one, this TikToker, this one is like the, I don't know if y'all guys been seeing the famous one that been going around, the story time of when something happened and you can't really explain if it happened or not. Hold on. King, stop screaming. And George, get in the shower. Y'all, I'm sorry I'm being ghetto. But anyways, let's get right into it, and then we're going to get into these comments.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe.
Okay, I need to try to trim my laugh. So this happens a lot to me, considering I'm a medium, very sensitive to energies. But so my work, I work at a childcare center, so preschool and younger, and I've always known there was at least an adult being there. She just strolls, you know, just.
Now, this is my first time reacting to them. I've been, like, saving them, waiting to react with y'all. So I didn't even really look at them. Normally, I look at them and do the video. I just want to go live and do this until Halloween. But my first time doing this, guys, the reaction, you know, bear with me. You know, I'm new to this, not true to this, okay? But this is my first time reacting. I don't know why it's not playing again. Sorry,
Tell
y'all.
me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe.
Okay, I need to try to trim my last one back. So this happens a lot to me, considering I'm a medium, very sensitive to energies. But so my work, I work at a childcare center, so preschool and younger.
Shit. Why the hell does this keep happening?
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe.
Okay, I need to try to trim my last one back. So this happens a lot to me, considering I'm a medium, very sensitive to energies.
I need to stop clicking
But
shit.
so my work, I work at a childcare center, so preschool and younger, and I've always known there was at least an adult being there. She just strolls, you know, just watches, or she's not bad or anything. But I've questioned about a child, and so long line of finally met this new teacher, and she also believes in that stuff and told me that she has been questioning one of the younger classrooms. Just like weird stuff happening in there, like a child sitting up on their rest mat when they're actually still like passed out asleep. So just yesterday, I'm usually like, it's all like in my brain stuff, like it pops in my head, like I'm as if I'm imagining it, but I'm accurate. Sometimes I do see them though, and I'll definitely see them out of the corner of my eye and stuff. I had to talk to this coworker that I've within the last couple of months recently met, because I had to confirm with her between the both of us since the last conversation that there is a child, because again, it was like right after rest time, and these kids are putting their mats away, taking care of all that. This is in the preschool room, not the younger one. And I turn, and I have to like stop and like push my hips back as if because I'm about to trip over a kid, right? I see this little blonde kid right in front of me to go to the other side of the room. No, there was no kid. So I had to go run and tell her. I let my co-teacher know. I was like,
okay, to me she rambling, but let's get to the sum of it. Basically, she said when she work out of preschool, she keeps seeing a kid that's just not there, which she keeps seeing it out of the corner of her eye, which sometimes you'll be seeing stuff. Let's get into her comments. She said, I'm really curious in your medium experience stuff. I used to have a lot of weird things happening to me. Never seen anything more, just sounds and electronic stuff turning on and off on their own. That's what Damien said on her video. Like she's curious about it because she said she was a medium. But as far as I really think she's seeing what she's seeing, it's just she's catching it from the corner of her eyes. Let's get to the next one because she was a little rambling.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever.
Route 22, New Jersey, about 4:55 in the morning. Old school station wagon with the wood grain on the outside and the inside. I see the station wagon to my left. I'm driving home. Two elderly people, probably about elderly. I shouldn't even say elderly. They look like they was in their 50s. Holding candles, lit candles. The wax is dripping down their hand. And they are looking straight ahead in a trance like this, driving down Route 22 from north towards Watchung. I was probably in my 20s, so this is about 30 years ago, 20-something years ago. I never forget, 4:55 or something like that in the morning. I was coming home from New York. Or from Newark or something. I can't remember if somebody was in the car with me, but I told a couple people this story. But yeah, holding candles, the wax dripping down their hand. Only thing you see in the car was the lights from the candles.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever.
He said only thing you seen was the candles. Oh no, so it says, dude, the way you popped up was enough for me. The comments have no chill. It said, and then somebody said, you call me scary. It says weird. All these videos seem to be around 2,000 times. So basically, he seemed like he basically said he think he seen an older couple holding a candle, but nobody was there. The comments go crazy. Let's go next case. Let's see.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell the story.
Going crazy on them. You
Okay.
like this streaming?
I guess I'm doing this story at 12:27 in the morning. I'll try to make it quick. Anyway, a long time ago, I was headed towards my dad's house. And where my dad lives, it's, he's out in boondocks. You can't see anything. There's no light poles out there. You have to drive, I think, 20 minutes out of town to get gas. I mean, he's out there. Anyway, when I'm going towards, when I'm going to that in that direction, I'm going by a couple of houses, and I get to this curve, and right next to this curve is a house, and I've always drove by this house, and I've never seen an animal, or a dog or anything. Anyway, it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's dark, and I mean I still can see a little bit, and I can still see that house and stuff. So anyway, I'm about to hit this curve, and I slow down because this dog was a big black shaggy looking thing, and I was afraid he was going to run across the street, and he was on the opposite side of the road from me, and so I slowed down so I wouldn't hit it. Well, right before I passed him, it stood straight up, like it's straight. And you know how a dog would look when it's standing.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And on its hind legs, you would be able to tell it's on its hind legs. Well, when it stood up, it looked like it was a grown man standing up. Is what it looked like. And I remember when I passed it, right when I passed it, I had this really sick feeling in my stomach. Like, I wanted to look at it so bad, but I was too afraid to. Like, it was like a, no, keep going. Don't stop feeling. But I really wanted to look at it.
Sorry, y'all, I got kids.
And I hate it that I didn't think to look in my rearview mirror to double check to see if I seen what I saw. But like, I know what I saw. Like, I can't explain that. Like, I don't, it's something eerie about that, and I don't know. You know, and ever since then, I drove past that house, and I've never seen a black, shaggy haired dog. Ever. Over there. So, to this day, I'm really confused. And the only thing that I can think of is a skinwalker. And I know that sounds crazy.
Now let's get into the comments. So basically she's saying she thought she seen a dog, like a dark shadow dog. It says it sounded like a bear. Some comments says I think it would have freaked me out. Oh, that is the scariest one. Thank you for sharing. Definitely shapeshifter. And another one says, oh my, I would have went faster to make sure I passed it, but would have looked back in the rearview mirror. It definitely sounds like it could be a skinwalker, very possible. She's in Arkansas that this is happening. Another one person said, I have a weird, like, don't look at a spooky feeling. One time I was driving, I seen a red eye staring at me behind the electric pole. I drove a couple of miles away, feeling went away, and was like I was, I can't read right now, and was like I was want to know what was that, so I turned around so I could see it, and something was there. And another one comment says, in fact, we do not live alone in the world. There is a world of gems that we cannot see, but they have lived with us, in the worst of them are called devils. I think he's one and scares me. Let's finish this one out.
But, you know, the reason why I think that is, one thing is where I'm from, I know that there were several different Indian tribes that lived through here. Yeah, I remember me and my brothers picking up a bunch of arrowheads on the creek bed when we were younger. And there were many stories, you know, about Indian tribes here. And I know that there were Cherokee Indians here, and I don't know the others, but that one.
What's up?
I was gonna ask you, can
I remember the thing that I can think of, and I can argue.
No, shut my door.
What I saw was real. Like, I know what I've
Sorry
seen.
about that, my kids, y'all.
I know it stood up just like a human. It stood straight up, and it did not get back on its fours when I was driving past it. I could still see it in my peripheral.
Tell me
Okay, we're going to the next girl.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever.
One time, me and Ethan were on the road. We were on a road trip, and it was the middle of the night. And we both, at the same exact time, saw a black humanoid run from left to right across the road on a bridge. And it had no eyes, no clothes. It was completely black. It had weird longish limbs, and it ran from left to right across from us while we were driving. And the thing is, I said, did you see that? And he says, the black thing, right? And I was like, yes.
Tell me.
So what do y'all think that was? And then it followed them? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So let's get to the comments. It says the FBI or the government investigated you guys because you probably applied for the green card citizen. I don't know what the hell that's all about. We ain't even go. Somebody said the Grim Reaper, and then another one say they need a blessing for a priest. It just sounds like something connected itself to them, and it scares them, and then that's what made them get followed, in my opinion. Yeah. No, it's already about to be 9 o'clock. Y'all about to go to bed soon. Okay, let's get to the next.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever.
So when I was a teenager, I'm going to say in 2006, I was asleep on our couch. And the reason why I fell asleep on the family couch was we were supposed to have a snow day. Like, it was going to snow really bad that night. And this was, I want to say, I don't even know what month it was. It was obviously in the winter. I'm from Indiana, so in the Midwest we get snow. Also ignore how, oh God, my hair so looks. But anyway, so, I fell asleep on the couch, and where my family couch was, excuse me, I have a face itch. Where my family couch was, you could see the kitchen door from where I was lying on the couch. And I woke up around 4 in the morning, and back then, you know, I had a cell phone. It was a Nokia phone, like a brick. And I remember waking up, and when I would breathe, I could see my breath. And I was half out of it. I'm like, well, that's really weird. And then I noticed that our 2 family dogs and my dog were kind of on me, trying to wake me up and scratch me. And so I thought, this is really weird. Of course, when you're half asleep, you know, I'm like half out of it. And when I went to go grab my phone, it was really cold. And I sat up, still half asleep, looking at the TV with the school closures on. Because back then, you know, nobody had internet at their house, hardly. And all the snow day, like closures and delays were on TV. That's how you found out in real time. So the dogs were barking, and that's when I kind of noticed that our back door was wide open, and we always locked it every night. So I thought, what in the world? And I noticed, like, as I got up, I'm in your flight or fight mode. You know, when people have flight or fight, every time I've been in some kind of experience where that comes out, I always go into fight, which is very, like, strange for me. If you like know me personally, you would think it would be flight, but it comes out in fight. At least it has almost every time. And I like walked to the back door, like I was scared, but I didn't even care. And the dogs were like barking and flipping out at the back door. So I went to the back door, and I noticed there were
the dogs right there was a sign right there telling her right there, scary stuff.
Footprints, like wet foot, like shoe prints, like boot prints, walking from the kitchen on the linoleum, and I obviously didn't see it in the carpet, but the carpet was damp in certain spots. So I'm like, what in the world? And I go to the back door, and it was already snowing. But when I looked out the back door, I turned on our back porch light, and there were actual footprints. They weren't even covered yet by the wind and snow. It wasn't really windy. It was just really like snow, like heavy snow. And there were boot prints going up to our back door from the front of our house, like from the front to the back. Now there weren't any on our front porch, and I thought, what in the world just happened? And so I woke up my dad, and my dad's bedroom was right off the living room. So, but he always had his bedroom door shut. And so I went to go wake up my dad, and he, you know, comes out like half asleep as well. And, it turns out it looked like there were, like I wasn't seeing anything, and there were boot prints. So whenever we went to go check if the back door was locked still, it was. So whoever broke in to the house, like used like a card or some kind of key unlock or not even key unlock because the door was still locked, probably used a debit card or, you know, some kind of card to wiggle the door open, to pop the lock open. That back door was easy to pop open. And so, yeah, that was really crazy. But what really freaks me out is that we lived out in the country. Like, there was a community, you know, in Indiana, there are a lot of communities out in the middle of nowhere, like coal communities, you know, like off the interstate, or where you have to drive like 10 miles to go into a town to get gas and or go to the grocery store or whatever have you. But it was so strange. Like, we lived at the end of a housing addition, like 2 miles off the, like, I would say 2 miles off the I-74. I still to this day don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just somebody who was maybe intoxicated and tried to go into the wrong home, somebody who broke in, because we had like light curtains, like, you know, like those sheer curtains, and so maybe they saw a teenage girl sleeping on the couch. I'm not sure. Or they didn't see me and they were breaking in and they saw me on the couch, or the dog started barking and that scared them away. There are a lot of scenarios, but I think about that frequently, and I think about how close, or I guess not even how close, but what in the world is that? You guys, I'm a mess. But how close, or how I could have, like, that I could have, you know, that could have ended very badly for me. But I don't tell the story very often because people kind of look at me like I'm a little bit crazy, but that is a true story. It was the craziest story. And so that really did happen. And I think about how, you know, how lucky I am to still be here. And hopefully it was just somebody who was intoxicated going into the wrong house. At least that's what I hope. I don't know. But yeah, that actually happened. So that is my
crazy work. Let's get into these comments. It says, so scary. It says, it was the first day of school, close to COVID. My son was sleeping on the couch, and I was in a room at the back of the house. My husband just left for work, and someone walked in the front door. Like, what the fuck? I would have been like, who is you, sir? It said, I was visiting a friend in Utah. I don't know what that is. Utah, I think. Before, and they had apartment style dorms. In at 3 a.m. I walked into the wrong dorm looking for a party. I saw everyone sleeping and locked the door and walked right out. That's just crazy. What if it was that? What if it was really something that she really could explain? What if it's that? Hold on right quick. These kids, y'all. These kids. I'm back, y'all. But that sounds scary. Scary, like crazy scary. Like, what was that? Sorry about the kids in the background. We have to check them up sometime. Alright, y'all, we moving on to the next one.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe you.
So it's 2021. I visit Vegas with my man, right? And one thing I noticed is that they drug addicts were different from the ones from ours. We live in Atlanta. They drug addicts, like, they lean over a lot. Like, you can tell that they are on a needle, or at least you will assume, but something was just very strange about that. It didn't seem like they were only on a needle, only on drugs. It just something else was strange. Like, I peeped that anyways, right? There was a point in time where we walked up and down the strip, right? We was tipsy, you know, like we was sipping on our slushies or whatever. We was walking up the strip. We seen this man yelling at the sky like he was manifesting, like he was yelling aggressively that he wanted a girl to spread her butt cheeks and fart in his face. He said it over and over again, non-stop. He wouldn't say nothing else. He wouldn't look away, wouldn't flinch. He just stared into the sky saying that. We come back down 30 minutes later, boom, he's still doing the same thing. But that's not the weird part. So the next day, we're walking, you know, past like the hotels. You know, we on the strip and we're going past Flamingo Hotel. You know, Vegas is known for their casinos. Their casinos, it wasn't like no door opening at the Flamingo. Like, it's just an open space. It don't have any doors. It's just a wide open space. Now, I just happened to look over, and one of them, he tried to go inside the casino, and he bounced back. Like, he walked towards the casino, and then he bounced back. So I was looking like, what the world? And I'm just like, whatever. But then another one, he did the same thing. He was slouching, moving around like a zombie, and he tried to go inside the casino, and then he bounced back too. Like,
wonder, is that drugs? Or is that skinwalker? What's going on?
Aggressively. And I was like, what the hell? Then my man, he was like, you seen that? I was like, you seen that? So to be clear that we saw the same thing, I was like, what did you saw? He said a motherfucker tried to go in and couldn't go in. I was like, I knew I was not tripping. It's almost like there was an invisible barrier to where they could not get in. They literally was slouching like zombies. And then they tried to go inside the casino and they bounced back. Like, it's like a force bounced them back, both of them separately. And the crazy thing is, like, all this shit is happening in Vegas. Vegas is known, you know, Vegas is in Nevada. Nevada is known as for Area 51. Nevada is known as, you know, for being a site for aliens. Another weird thing happened where I was high as a kite, if you know what I mean. And I was walking the hallways in my hotel, and I looked at the floor, and the patterns on the floor looked like alien heads. I kid you not, like, it looked straight like alien heads. I was like, what the hell? Like, it creeped me out, because mind you, I'm high as a kite, if you know what I mean. And so I tell my man, I'm like, do you see this? Like, just look at it. It look like alien heads. And he looked at it, he was like, damn. I looked it up on Google, like, I could see the floors, and it still looks strange in the pictures, but it's not showing what I saw. Mind you, like, you gotta see that shit in person, but I'm gonna show the pictures anyways, because it was weird, but I don't know. I don't know what I witnessed. I don't know what was that thing with the barrier at the Flamingo. That was crazy. Like, they was like zombies. They were even like drug addicts. Like, mind you, I'm from the hoodest parts of Atlanta. The part of Atlanta that I'm from, they are known for that drug, you know. So it's like I've seen them in different forms. Like, but what I saw in Vegas, that was some other shit.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you...
Now that's crazy. Let's get into her comments. It says Vegas is GTA online lobby. Say they got supernatural bouncers. Not the supernatural bouncers. It says Vegas has weird ass energy. Did you know about the elevator game? Hold on, cuz. Hold on. That's weird. Did y'all see that? I ain't even touch nothing. Hold on, cuz. You're in my way. What? Fofo. No, bro. That's about to get deleted. Hold on. No, bro. You just don't pop up and be like, what? What's going on? But anyways, Vegas has weird ass energy. Did you know about the elevator game? What is the elevator game? Let's just say, oh my God, what is the elevator game going to Vegas next month? It's a dangerous dimension traveling through the elevator portals. She said, I stayed at the OYO in June. Definitely feel like they are forced to play with it. Said, woo child, that's terrifying. I dream about elevators almost every night. Somebody says, stay safe. What is the... Let's go down. Hold on. Because we got to go down a rabbit hole. What is the elevator game? Because what the fuck? Now I need to know, just in case if I go to Vegas, the elevator games. So it says someone in Auntie Majories just told a story about the elevator that went to a pitch black footsteps. Told the guy that to the basement, and he said no basement is here. What is crazy word? What the heck? Now I'm about to go search what is the elevator games in Vegas. It said I couldn't put my finger on it, but the very first time I went to Vegas, I left. I remember telling people I did not like it. Nothing bad happened. I just didn't like the energy, and that's it. It's the energy. The energy could be off. It could be a portal to Said we both Libras feel the same thing. He says, look where you stay at. Come on, it's 32 comments. Somebody gonna tell me what these elevator games is. Says secret tunnel. Somehow they got access to it. Nothing weird about it. More comments. It says sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down, sometimes they go to the floor. I picked like the fourth floor. Sometimes it goes to the 99th floor and zoom in there. Do you know these? What? Now, comment down below if y'all been to Vegas and something weird happened like that on the elevator, y'all. But let's get to the next story, because I could keep going down the whole Vegas thing. That's a whole glitch within itself. Do you see how many comments within it? No. We're going to go to something else next. But, which one we did? This girl right here.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe.
So this happened years ago when I was a kid. I used to live in Romania, and I lived with my brother, my uncle, and my grandma. My grandma at the time was working at the shop, and she needed us to bring some stuff to her. And I remember my uncle sent me downstairs to buy some things. We had like a little shop at the bottom of the building. And it was April 1st. I remember that it was April Fool's. So I go to the store, and I was about like 7 years old, maybe 7 or 8. I go to the store, and all of a sudden, I'm not in the store anymore. I am in the apartment, and I'm next to my brother, looking over his shoulder while him and my uncle are putting flour in a sugar bag. And I remember thinking, what are they doing? And they were talking how they're going to fool my grandma. And they're literally like emptying the sugar and putting flour instead as like April Fools. And then I'm back in the store. I don't know how that transition happened, but I remember I went upstairs to the apartment, and they had the bag ready. We were supposed to take that to my grandma, and I asked them, why did you replace the sugar with flour? And my uncle was irate. He went off on my brother, like, why did you tell her? I told you not to tell her. And he's like, I didn't say anything. He was a kid too. I didn't say anything, and he just wouldn't believe him. Like, how would she know? And I remember, like, I was trying to explain that I saw them, but obviously they knew when I came into the apartment and locked the door and everything, so there was no way for me to see it because they specifically sent me to the store, and they started doing this thing immediately. And to this day, I don't have an explanation for what happened. I remember talking to somebody, and they said it's like astro traveling or something like that, but it was very surreal because I was there, and they couldn't really see me. Neither one of them was speaking to me. And I remember just looking at what they were doing. Just a random event. And nobody believed me.
Tell me a story about a time that you...
To them comments. Say, please sit down and take your time and try to use your powers for good. Don't know what they mean. You had me at Romanian remote viewing. You are able to do it again. Just have to be clear-minded and energy and allow yourself to be without restriction. It will come to you and it will lay dormant. Basically, she was able to tap into her powers, and that's what I think what happened to her. Astral traveling while she's up, you know. So let's get into some of these vampire stories too.
I've been seeing the videos about the vampires in New Orleans. My theory is they've always been amongst us. They've always been here. Come on now. Y'all think these people be coming up with these movies off the top of their head? No, they've been documented. The story's been passed down. They've been here the whole time, y'all. Ain't nothing just thought of at the top of your head. And look, when you think about it, y'all remember the movie that Tom Cruise played on Interview with the Vampire? Do y'all remember how long those vampires lived? I'm talking about for centuries, for a very long time. Those vampires have been amongst us human beings the whole time. Now, I don't know where they came from, but they have been here the whole time, just like every other myth and every other story, y'all. These people are not just making these movies up off the top of their mind. They really have the documents of vampires, of the Godzilla creatures, they call it a Leviathan. All this stuff, y'all, you got to have an open mind, man. Just have an open mind. Get in the comment section and let me know what you think. Because me, I think the vampires have been here. I think they've been here. I've been seeing the video.
They said it.
Story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this.
I've been seeing the video.
Say, I watched True Blood, everything exists. Say, after watching the originals, I knew it. Say, I want to stay on vampire TikTok. It says the Kardashians are the vampires. Like, what? I just like this one. I didn't know what was really going on in that story, so let's get to one of the vampire stories.
I'm seeing all these videos about vampires popping up on my TikTok For You page.
Y'all watch her right.
I never ever thought I would tell this story, at least in a public forum, but here goes. This is my vampire story. It still baffles my mind when I think that, say that, and I still get the creeps with the memory of any of this. And I'm going to be a little bit cryptic, if you get my drift, with regards to some of the experiences. But several decades ago, I had lost my job. I had just had my baby girl, so she's going to be 30 this year, so that's how long it's been. And I had gotten a job interview at a local business. Again, I'm not going to say what kind of business. And I went to this interview and I immediately felt something odd with the owner of this business. There was something so mesmerizing about him. He wasn't good looking, but he was good looking. And it's hard to explain. Like, there was just something strange about him, and he just felt almost hypnotic. And he said, I'm interviewing for a couple more people, and I'll give you a call in a couple days and let you know if you get the job. Okay. I did get the job. A couple days later, he gave me a phone call, and he said, I am offering you this job at this pay. And it wasn't bad. The hours weren't bad. The pay wasn't bad. And I said, let me think about it. I had another offer on the table. And he said, please let me know by tomorrow. And I'm like, understood. So I had called my mom. And my mom was very intuitive, even though she didn't really want to admit that she was. And I told her, and I'm like, I got this job offer. And I didn't even tell her a lot of like the creepiness that this guy kind of gave me. And she's like, Christy, I have a really bad feeling. Do not accept this job. Do not accept the job. I'm telling you right now, something's not right. Do not accept this job. Now, this is a business that was in the person's family for a long time. And so it wasn't anything out of, it wasn't like a starter company. This person was kind of known in the community. My mom didn't know him. But so it was a substantial, real job. And I'm like, Mom, I don't understand. I need a job. She's like, you're going to get a job offer from that other place that you interviewed for. Just stick it out. Tell this guy no and accept the other job once it comes. And I'm like, this job was actually, it was pretty good. But I took my mom's advice and I called the gentleman the next day and I said, I'm so sorry. I am really honored, but I'm declining the job offer. And thank you very much for your time. And he's like, I will double your pay. Excuse me, sir? I will double your pay. Now, it already was good pay, but double the pay was a lot of pay. And I'm like, again, something felt really off. And I'm like, sir, I'm so sorry. I'm going to decline. And he's like, I'm going to check with you in a couple days. And there was just something very ominous about the way that he said that. And that night, I ended up having a dream with him in it. And it was very vampire-ish, is the only way that I can describe it. And the business that he was in also spoke volumes for that. So a couple days later, he called me. And I said, again, sir, I've accepted another job. And I did not tell him with whom. And he's like, I will triple your salary. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. And he said, I can tell that you are very psychic. And I can tell that you know
He wanted her.
who I am.
He wanted
and
that
what
blood,
I am.
girl. He wanted to suck
And
your blood.
I think it would behoove you to take this job. What? So I told him again, no thank you. And he said, okay. Now this was like, internet wasn't really a thing. Like you couldn't really look people up. There was AOL chat and such like that, but you couldn't really look people up like you can now. And so I ended up accepting a job at a cabinet store and as an office manager. And I didn't hear from him, but I was still having these weird nightmares with him in it. And I'm like, it's just got to be in my head, right? But it was almost like he could read my mind. It was very strange. Well, guess who showed up at the kitchen store the second day that I started? Yeah, this guy. And it's like he knew that I was going to be there. He's like, hi, Christy. And I'm like, excuse me, what are you stalking me? Like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm ordering a new kitchen for the business. Like, it was nothing. And he continued to come in my dreams. About a year later, I ended up taking a job at a fireplace store as an office manager. A couple days into that, this gentleman walks in and says, I need a new fireplace for my business.
He sound like a stalker.
Excuse me? Now, I'm not going to say everything about the business and everything about him, but you might be able to figure it out with a clue. And that is he lived above the business. That's all I'm going to say. So he's like, yep, I need a fireplace. And I'm like, sir, I don't understand why you're here. And he continued every time. He's like, would you like to work with me? I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I worked at the fireplace store for a couple of years. And he would every once in a while call and he would ask for the fireplace to be serviced. And I ended up telling my boss at the time, like, how I felt about him. And he would laugh and he's like, I'm going to send you out there with the tech. And I'm like, no, you're not. But he was like, yeah, something's strange about this person. Something is almost like immortal. Even if you look at the family lineage, it's like he's existed before. And it wasn't like his great-great-grandfather. It was like him. So I ended up quitting a couple of years after that, and I worked for a school district. And guess who showed up? At the admin office.
He wanted that blood.
And in the meantime, he's still coming in my dreams. And every once in a while, he's still calling me and asking me if I want a job. And no. My mom had passed away. I'd gotten a divorce. I mean, we are eons into this. And I ended up running into him at a store, and he, you know, like, do you remember everybody you interviewed like one time? Because he either has a really crazy memory or it wasn't like a stalker. He just wasn't. That wasn't the case. It's just, again, it was very vampiristic. Is that a word? And so I ran into him, and he's like, hi, Christy. And again, he's like, how are you doing? And it was just very kind of Norman Bates creepy. I ended up in the job that I'm in now. I'm a professional psychic medium. I ended up having to go to a competitor of his to work on a case. And we ended up talking about this gentleman and his business. And I didn't say anything, but the owner of this establishment went, just Christy, make sure you stay away from, because he's a vampire.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't laugh.
Want to tell me?
And she didn't laugh.
I'm pause this. let's get into some of these comments because I think I'm seeing where the story got left over, and we didn't let her talk for almost 9 minutes. It says, my toxic trait is I will totally be his vampire bride. What the fuck? Is he watching you now? Comment says, stay on vampire talk. You're stronger than me. Triple pay. Literally had an interview with a vampire. Triple pay, hey boss, me. This is funny. So basically, she thinks she had a vampire. I want to get through all of the ones that I like so I can dump them. So tomorrow I have some fresh ones. But I like that one that she was talking about. Let's get
The Dark Side of Housekeeping, Part 2. Person, bloody everywhere, wrapped in the bed's sheeting. Come to find out, they have been stabbed 16 times and wrapped up in the bed sheets. That person died from 16 stabs. You remember how I said it smelled like penny?
Robux give you free scam Robux.
Yeah.
But it's actually nice. I want 1 billion trillion Robux.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's crazy. Okay,
She was smelling their blood.
That's crazy.
The Dark Side of Housekeeping.
Said, as soon as you said pennies, I knew it. It said hospital for 25 years and the stories for days. The music scares me more than the story. So basically a crime scene. That's what we just heard, a crime scene. The dark side of that one. Let me see what else ones that we didn't get through. I think we didn't get to like him or her. I think we got like 3 more left over. Let's see.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw.
Oh no, we got through her because this is the 9-minute one. Oh no, I'm not listening to her for 9 minutes talking.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever.
This literally just happened the other day. Me and my friend were talking about a place that exists within the city that we live in, and I could have sworn it was downtown, and when she looked it up, it was in a totally different location, so we decided to go. As soon as we pull up to the place, like, the vibes are off. It just feels like, get the hell out of there, you're not supposed to be here, that, you know, shit went down, there's spirits there, they don't want us there. So when we pull in, they have, like, animal crates, and I swear to you, they were plastic. They were like those lawn animals. And when I told my friend, she pulled up a little closer, and the closer we pulled up, the damn animals were alive. Oh, wow. They were alive, and we drove in, and it just felt like, get the hell out of here, and I kept telling her we gotta leave. Well, when we were leaving and we pulled out, the animals were back to being plastic. Lawn animals. That shit was wild.
Tell me a story about a time that you know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you.
Smiling emojis. I think this is our last story, if I'm not mistaken. Last story of the night. Then we'll be back over here tomorrow.
You know that you saw something, but you don't ever tell this story because you know that no one would ever believe.
Okay, so I have a story for you. We're from a small town in Mexico called Tecate, Jalisco, okay? And my parents used to take us as children to visit our relatives, right? And it is very, I can't explain it, it's just very earthy, very nature. Mexico is, I don't know, you just feel closer to people there. It's just different. Anyway, we used to love going down there. I used to love visiting all my relatives. And one day, then I was on my way back home to check in with my mom, and I saw one of my cousins. She said, hey, you want to go to the centro with us? And I was like, oh, yes, of course I want to go with you. But let me just go let my mom know. And she's like, we don't have time. We'll just be right back. So this was around noon, okay? It was 8:30 at night when we got back. My mother was hysterical. She had the whole neighborhood looking for me, and when I got home, she was whipping my ass. Like, woo, where the hell were you? Why didn't you tell me where you went? How could you do this to me? She was hysterical. So one of my other aunts stepped in and said, Mia, why don't you just let her come stay by my house? You're really upset, and, you know, she's just let her stay with me tonight. And I said, yes, I want to go with her. I remember one thing about this aunt, that she had a son that was murdered. It was her eldest son who used to be in charge of the family because she was a widower. So it really hurt her. Like, it was, she never got over it. My aunt lived in pain her whole life. And you can sense that walking in her house, there was a lot of grief. We went to go to bed, and she's like, you go to bed, Mija, I'm just going to say my rosary. She was Catholic, and she's like, I'm just going to say a quick rosary, and I'll come right to bed. I said, okay, Tia. So I can see her, I can hear her murmuring the rosary back and forth, and she was you know, just repeating, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up and it was like, I don't know, past midnight. She was still praying, and I thought, ooh, how long is this thing gonna go? But whatever, I said, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I went back to sleep, and I woke up again because she was still praying, and it was like waking me up. Over to her, and I see her rocking back and forth. She had like a robe over her, and I was like, oh, I don't want to bother her, but I woke up and I said, Tia, how much longer are you going to be? You know, I peeked over my blankets. I said, how much longer are you going to be? And she stopped, and she stared at me dead in the face, and I couldn't see her face. I could see like the light coming in from the outside, like the moonlight, but I knew it was her, and she looked like she was upset. I mean, it just stone cold stared at. I went to go lay down. As I'm laying down, I look over, and my aunt was laying right next to me.
Oh my God.
Instantly froze.
Oh
Instantly,
my God.
I was like, oh hell no. I just stood there and I did not move an inch. Like, I had my blankets like this, and that's how I stayed the whole night until the sun came out. When I saw the sun come out, I quickly got up and I looked over and I saw the chair. It wasn't a rocking chair, it was just a regular chair. And my aunt's like, you're going home, you don't want breakfast? No thanks, bye, see ya. Did never go back.
Let's get into some of the comments. Say, what do you think happened? I'm very open-minded, and I have seen very unusual things as well. Just curious about the thoughts on this. Sorry about my reading. I see something all the time. Ma'am, your Tia or her gym twin decided to teach you a lesson. How were you not crying? Does anyone else hear a faint voice in the beginning of the video, or is it just me? Oh, I didn't hear nothing, girl. Say a while, my spirit would have gotten home before I had. Just crazy sauce, y'all. But I'm about to end this because it's almost 1 hour stream. I'm go an hour live. I don't know what time, but I'm trying to shoot towards like 8:30 to 9 or 9:30 to later at night when the kids are asleep. But hopefully y'all like this stream so far. Shoot. What we got? But hopefully y'all like the stream so far. Let me pull up this. Let me pull up this. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up for my background. What's up? That wasn't it. Hold on, y'all. Here I come. Let's go. Let me go to my downloads. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Today, this is my sister's birthday. But anyways, back to it. It's 93 more days until Halloween. I'm planning to spice these up some more. Like I said, I'm new to this, not true to this. I'm learning how to stream. I'm gonna get it together. I'm gonna get the camera angle ready. I'm gonna get the kids quiet. I'm gonna get it all together. But 93 days of going through scary videos on the internet. That's what we're gonna do for until Halloween, y'all. But if you enjoy this, make sure you like, comment down, and subscribe. I'm getting better at it. The streaming stuff all new to me. I'm getting my lights right. I'm getting everything right. But I'll see y'all tomorrow for more scary videos for the 92 days. Alright, happy summer wing. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow.